Vocal dynamics. What are they and how do they affect your singing? Hey divas! In today's video, we're talking everything vocal dynamics. So many of you may have heard this term with just no clue as to what they exactly are. So if we are going to be mastering vocal dynamics, we first need to start off with a good foundation. Let's start off with defining what are vocal dynamics. So when we talk vocal dynamics, we are referring to things that are crucial for your singing. We're talking about volume, tone, and expression. Vocal dynamics are responsible for conveying emotion in a song. So, first step, controlling volume. Now, you might be naturally inclined to sing a bit softer or a bit louder, which is totally normal. We all have variations in our voice. The key is being able to find a happy medium between the two, not singing too softly and not singing too loudly and in a boisterous way either. There are simple exercises that we can do to help improve on your volume, whether you need to be able to sing a bit softer, a bit louder, or just become more familiar with your own volume. To break it down even further, when we talk volume, we're talking about singing softly like so. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Versus singing very loudly. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You will hear if we emphasize on the volume either too much or too little, it can actually distort the feeling of the song or the emotion that the song is trying to convey. This is why it's so important to be able to find a happy medium, a good balance between your volume, and that way you actually do more justice to the song. These exercises can also help you build more volume control, play around and experiment. Try an exercise like singing loudly when you are at the front of your lounge, and then as you walk backwards, try decreasing the volume and going back and forth, seeing how are you able to control it. If you want to make this exercise even more advanced, you can start off with your natural volume at the front of your lounge or living room, wherever you may be practicing these. And then as you walk back, you want to increase or decrease your volume. And then when you get to the advanced level, you want to try and keep that volume the same, which can be quite tricky because as you walk back, you're going to need to increase your volume. And as you walk more forward, you're going to need to decrease that volume to keep it at that same level. This can be a really fun one to try as well. Now, next up, we've got to talk about tone, which is very similar to pitch, the way people understand it. The most simple and basic way for me to describe it to you is basically the lack of tone. When you sound off in a song is how you will know when you have the incorrect tone, or unfortunately you get people that can be completely tone deaf, is what we call them, because they just can't hear any tone. As a result, they end up sounding terrible. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That is not an easy fix. That is something that takes a lot more work and consistency to try and correct. You can also understand tones as far as a type of melody or emotion that you may be trying to incorporate into a song, or filter rather. I think filter is the best way to describe it. Think of when you're editing photos and you put on a bright filter, a warm filter versus a cool tone filter. This is a perfect way to describe the kind of filter that you want to come through in a song. Do you want it to sound very bright and warm and melodious? Or do you want it to sound a bit more dark and grungy? What is the type of song that you're singing? That will give you an indication as to what kind of tone you want to bring through and portray in that song with your singing voice. Now this brings me to the next one, which is expressing emotion. Isn't it just so amazing that using our vocals, using our singing voices, and even our speaking voices, we are able to portray emotion in a song? Now, here's some homework for you. The easiest way to understand this one. Go through some of your favorite songs, whichever genre, and I want you to pinpoint the kind of emotion that you feel is being expressed or trying to be expressed. For example, let's say you take a love song. Is it a very happy, boppy kind of love song, or do you find it's more sad? Is it more melancholy? This is just the first layer where you try and uncover what emotions are being portrayed in the song or trying to be, because not everyone is able to do that really well. I think it does take some skill. The next layer you will go on to are the even deeper meanings. Besides just happy and sad, what other deeper or more complex emotions are trying to be conveyed in the song? So have fun with this one. It can be a really interesting exercise. If you're new here, remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on your notification bell because I don't want you to miss a thing. And that way, you'll never miss an upcoming video. Next up, let's talk about vocal techniques for dynamics. You can take simple exercises using vocal scales like crescendo and decrescendo with do, re, mi, for example. And you can sing that with different tones using different dynamics in order to try and convey different emotions in a song. Dynamics can really enhance the storytelling aspect of the lyrics in a song. For example, let's say I want you to sing Mary Had a Little Lamb, but I want you to sing it with a really, really sad, melancholy expression. It would sound very different as compared to me asking you to sing that in a much more happier, lighter tone. So now, are you starting to understand what we mean by vocal dynamics? Once you do, you will be able to master all of these techniques and master your vocal dynamics. Now, of course, we have to talk about breath control. That is extremely important when it comes to your vocal dynamics because that is going to make or break your ability to, for example, control your volume. Having a good foundation in breath support is going to really help with your overall expression, your overall vocal dynamics. I encourage you to practice all of these exercises regularly and see the difference that it makes in the way that you come across with your vocal dynamics. How are you sounding with your volume and your tone, your overall expression in a song? You will also need to look at song interpretation. What are the lyrics of the song actually trying to convey through the song? That will give you a good indication of how the song also needs to be sang. And last but not least, we have to think about your live performances because vocal dynamics helps you to actually connect with your audience. So one of the best tips I can give you when it comes to vocal dynamics is to practice for this reason, especially if you're going to be in front of a crowd of people. You really want them to feel the music. Think about the reason why we enjoy the songs that we do. It's all because we are able to connect to that song through our emotions. You want to be able to convey as best as possible the same kind of feeling to your audience. I encourage you to experiment and practice. Try different things with your voices. And in the comment section, let me know your results. Have you come across anything particularly interesting in your voice? Or are there areas that you feel you are just really struggling with? And let me know if you'd like to learn more tips and tricks like some of the ones we've uncovered today, or more exercises that can help you in those specific areas. If you enjoy this kind of stuff and you'd like to go even further in your vocal journey, I encourage you to check out the beautiful course that I have put together for you. It's called Learn How to Sing Vocal Training, and it takes you through all the way from beginner to intermediate and then to advanced level vocal training. So no matter which level of vocal ability you may be on, you will benefit. You can really transform your vocals and build your self-esteem. Details in the description box below. In my next video, we are going to be going over some breathing techniques that can help you if you want to sound like a really powerful singer. Yes, we are talking about more breathing exercises, breathing techniques, and this way you can really help to empower your voice, sound powerful, sound bold, and achieve what you want to with your vocals. So I will see you in that next video. And until then, my beautiful divas, stay awesome.